All the guinea hens are going wild out there. And everything smells good. We did a lawn cut yesterday, so we got the smell of fresh grass going. You got the cows back there. And we have, well, how many? Some hay bales here, 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, Ken brought over 16 hay bales today. And then we wrapped probably another 30 last night. And then we had Cody bring over some other bales for us, which are, they were dry bales that we can serve to our cows now. So right now it's you know, late summer, so we're having to feed some bales. That's why we didn't wrap these. We're just gonna end up feeding them right up. So we got some there, and we got some all the way in that back corner that you can see. So, and then yesterday we had to get some square bales in the barn. We got 50 good bales for the goats, and then we ended up getting another 100 square bales of mulch hay. So we're stocking up. And I got to tell you, you know, what some people don't realize is you drive past these farms all over America, you know, here in upstate New York specifically, and you see these white marshmallows, and like people just see these white marshmallows and they drive on by. And you know, for us, it's like dollar bills and feed. You know, every one of those is $55. Okay, every one of these is $45. So when you're talking about 500 to 1,000 bales, like do the math on that. You know, you're talking like $55,000. And then you got tractors, and you know, we got a fuel tank we just had to fill up yesterday. And you start thinking about all these things, and we had feed delivered for the turkeys and the chickens today, and we had feed delivered for the pigs, and you start adding all this up, and it is like crazy, you know. And then sometimes, you know, people say, you know, I think you're charging too much. You know, you get these morons that reach out every so often, trolls we call them, and they tell you these things, and it's like, no, like this is the business of farming. And the business of farming is, you know, it's like driven by markets. And when the price of fuel goes up, the price to run that goes up, the price to cut that goes up, the price to feed that boar and all those pigs and all those cows goes up. So like, we don't really have a tolerance to listen to people's feelings on cost, because if you want to go to a grocery store and eat that dog meat that they serve you, that's going to be man-made, genetically engineered, or meat today that comes in from Africa, Tanzania, all over the world, like, you can go get that. You can. But just to let you know, like, what goes on here, there's a lot of effort that goes on here behind the scenes. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of dedication, there's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of energy that goes into restoring land, you know, making those hay bales. Like, there's men out there every day that it's, you know, sunny out, cutting hay and grinding so that those animals could eat. That's what they're doing. So, you know, when a steak hits the table, you know, that says made in the USA, and you know it comes from a small farm, just realize how much effort went into that piece of meat that somebody's going to sit down and eat. But this equipment is not cheap, and making this hay is not cheap. So there's nothing cheap about farming. And you know, farmers, you know, work their butts off every single day to make it happen. I told a lady today that was complaining about something. She had as my friend David Emerson likes to say, a little bit of slap jaw. And I told her, listen, at the end of the day, you can go anywhere and get your meat. You totally can. But when you're buying from a small farm, like, you're feeding families, right? Like, you're allowing us to keep doing this so that we could supply meat all over the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, Florida, Maryland, all over. We're sending meat, and it's coming from upstate New York, which, you know, again, the politics are horrible here, but there's good ground, there's good soil, there's good agricultural opportunity here. So, you know, that's where the money goes. The money allows us to do that. Everything that we make, we sink right back into this farm, and we've been restoring it now for 2 years, trying to get it right. That's just what we've been doing. You know, like this area here, right? Like where we're putting all the hay, this has to be all re-graveled, right? We cut those weeds out, clean all that up. This has to be re-graveled. Like every dump truck of gravel we bring in is $1,000. So you're talking 5 dump trucks, that's $5,000 on rocks. You know, we rebuilt you could see the black under those windows. Those windows are shot. We got to redo them, but we had to rebuild the whole wall underneath there to kick off the season this year. We spent $5,000 building a new cinder block wall that nobody sees. And then there's a space over there. I'll show you. And in that space, we have to put more rock so that water doesn't go into the barn. So again, you're talking more dump truck loads to fill in that gap in that space right there of rock. And then we're going to concrete the top of it so that the water comes from up there, it hits down here, and we grade this so it rolls away from the barn so that we can protect the structure. You know, that's an old milk house that we have to redo, and again, it just takes time, but more than time, it takes money to be able to do that. So, you know, again, when you support small farms, you allow us and others to reinvest and keep these farms going and keep these farms growing and get good food out to all the people that are out there purchasing, you know, good food for their family. They're people that don't want vaccinated meat. They don't want mRNA in their meat. They don't want any of that. Like, that's what we're able to do here, is provide that sort of experience. But it takes, you know, a lot of effort. It takes a lot of tools. It takes a lot of machinery. It takes a lot of time. And again, it takes a lot of cash. So, you know, everything's expensive. You know, some people just see a roll of hay. That roll right there, 35 bucks, sitting right there. Grass, $35. It's crazy, you know? It's like a quarter of a tank of gas today, just sitting there, you know? One of those bales for some is a full tank of gas. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're driving by farms wherever you are. You know, you got to realize that it takes a lot to make these things go. And even today, I was going through what we've spent in hay just this year. It's insane. And then, you know, the cost to bring the meat to customers, and what we pay on a UPS bill, what we pay for packaging. You know, it costs us $17 for a box and insulator and dry ice. 17 bucks. You know, so, you know, and then we have the shipping on top and all of that. So you start thinking about all those fees and you're like, my gosh, farming is expensive. It is one expensive sport for sure. So that's why, you know, you got to value the small farms. You know, these big farms, you know, they're out there working too, but it's different. It's a different game. You know, the small farm is a small farm. You know, back in the day, every community had one of these, and those communities were fed by these small farms and small dairies. And now, not so much, right? It's hard for the small farmer to keep things going. That's why we like working with them, because, you know, when a guy brings over hay and we're able to sell meat and pay him for his hay, you know what? He gets to, you know, treat his family to a meal. He gets to pay the electric bill this month. He gets to take some of that cash that he earned by sitting on a tractor all day and put it into his family and hopefully, you know, get to a better life. So, you know, it's all connected. And when we started this farm, that was the whole idea. The whole idea was to say, listen, you know, we can't do everything ourselves, nor do we want to, but if we can get customers and people interested in eating off the land again, and, you know, thinking about their food from a sourcing standpoint, man, what an awesome thing. They're going to start buying from us. They'll start buying, you know, meat boxes every month. They'll buy meat shares, quarter cow, half cow, whole cow. They'll start buying, same thing with the pigs, the meat shares, and then we'll be able to stimulate the economy from the local butcher shop to, you know, the local feed store, to the local family that makes hay, to, all these local places, you know, like even when we have events, right? We put everybody up at the local hotel in town. We send them for breakfast at the local breakfast shop. We send them to Aiello's, my friend Charlie's place, for dinner, right? So it's all trying to keep things tight and keep things local so that, you know, we can do things differently than we've done them in the past, which has led us to this corporate dependence and this government dependence, which gets us nowhere. So if we can start doing things the right way again and start thinking local and support local and get involved with local, man, like you're stimulating local economies, and that's where your dollars are going. There's a direct application and there's a knowingness as to where your dollars go. I mean, I just remember even hearing for years our parents talking and saying things like, where does all our tax money go? And nobody knows. Nobody knows where that tax money goes. It just goes, right? The roads still look like crap. Things look terrible and nothing really gets improved. So we don't know where the tax money goes. But you do know where this money goes, because I'm telling you where it goes. It goes to the local economy. It goes to, feed those animals. It goes to taking care of this farm. And it goes to just trying to make things better and better and getting people to eat off the land and be more local. So, you know, all of it matters. Everything matters out here. Weather matters. Being ready at all times to take care of an animal that needs you matters. Doing your best for your customers matters. I always say, hey, listen, sometimes we screw up just like everybody else. We just try to make it right when we do. And we got great customers that have a lot of support and patience, and they're in there with us on this journey. So anyway, just wanted to come on and chat a little bit tonight. We got to chat sometimes and, you know, take you out on the land and get you to experience it. So there's no cows on this side now. We moved them over, so they're now giving this ground a break. But anyway, if you like this, if you like coming on a walk at night or in the morning and hanging out on the farm with us, give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a share, and order some meat. There's a link below. You could certainly order some meat and we'll get it right to your house, right from the farm. And yeah, we pack it right here, right? The way it used to be. Small family business. It's good. It's good stuff. So thank you again for hanging with us, and thanks for being a part of this journey. And as always, thanks for supporting, and we'll see you soon. And leave us some comments if you have anything nice to say. We'd appreciate it. So we always like hearing from everybody. Have a good day. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.